All right, all right, all right. Let's do this. Huh? This is how many nights in a row now? Let's see. This is what, the third, fourth night in a row now, right? Yeah, because we've had three games, so this is the fourth night in a row. Y'all gonna get spoiled. I wonder if anybody realized. Yep, somebody's sure. All right. Yeah, I said yesterday we'd do it an hour beforehand. You know. Hey, bud, how we doing, man? I'm all right. I'm all right. I didn't eat enough today. I didn't eat enough today. I'm a little loopy today, so that's okay. I had some banana chips before I went on. And as soon as I'm done here, I'm gonna go eat while I'm watching the first period of the game. Other than that, things are good. Weather's good, man. It was like 75 degrees today, so that's the thing. I tell you though, every night. Hey, bud, Michael, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for showing up, bud. I appreciate that. So, all right, as you guys know the drill. We're starting this off right. Drop the predictions. Anybody who wants to lose more money or more challenges picking the Habs, go ahead. Yeah, it's raining. It's just the normal afternoon stuff, though, right, bud? Sometimes I miss those things, man. 3-2 has. All right, all right. Now, since you're picking the Habs, 4-1, Michael, you got. Oh, it's a tropical storm. Okay. But since you're picking the Habs, I want you to tell me how Montreal's defense is going to slow down Vegas, because I don't see it happening. I mean, you know, they've got a good defense, obviously, but I mean, you saw it the other night, 4-1. It could have been 14-1, no problem. So, you know, their defense. I mean, Vegas is just skating all over the place, connecting on long passes, and somehow Montreal's got to anticipate what's coming a little bit better. Yeah, you don't trust Montreal's. They rely on Price. Once they get the lead, they try to shut. Boy, that is a risky scenario. But I mean, what else are you going to do, right? They got to get out. All right, everybody agrees, right, that if Montreal loses this game, the series is toast, right? Nobody here is going to tell me how Montreal is going to win 4 in a row, right? All right, bud. Boy, you're hopeful. You're hopeful. I just don't see how it's going to happen, man. But like I said, I thought the same thing that when Vegas lost to the Caps. You know what I mean? I know you want a long series. Look, Islanders and Tampa Bay, that's going to go 7. All right, that's going to be beautiful. This one, I just don't see how Montreal is going to do it. But obviously, hey, for the live streams and for the channel and all that, give me 7 games. I'm good with that. Triple overtime, at least 1. But I don't see how anybody's going to slow down Vegas right now. I think the Islanders could slow them down, but you saw last night, you know, you get a good offensive team going. You know, Montreal had a good run. They had a good run, but Vegas is just in a different class. That's just my biased opinion. You know what I mean? That's just my biased opinion. So what else happened today? You guys probably saw I did a dolphin video. If any of you guys see me do a dolphin video, appreciate the shares there, because I don't have the following there with the Dolphins, and so those videos don't do so good. They don't do as well as they should, and then the algorithm kind of starts to think nobody's watching the videos, so then the other videos don't get shown as much. That's one of the hard things about doing new content, is you kind of, if the algorithm notices some of your videos aren't doing as well as normal, then they start showing the other ones even less and less. I saw that, Michael. Yeah, I saw that. I haven't been to the comment section yet, but I did see that. I appreciate that. You got the notifications on. You know, sometimes it's funny. I publish the video, and when I'm done putting it on Twitter, I go back and I'll have like 2 thumbs up and 3 comments, but it'll also tell me no views. I'm like, something ain't right. It's not right. You know. So all right, bud. So you want a long series, and I think we all want a long series as well. But to get that long series, absolutely 100% Montreal is going to have to do that tonight. And I think the only way Montreal wins this game tonight is if you see that first 10 minutes that they played the other night, they got to play the full 60 minutes like that. And they can't get – they got to get the first goal. And then if they don't, they can't get so butthurt, man. They completely deflated. Fleury stopped that whole flurry of shots in the first 10 minutes. And then once Vegas scored, man, Montreal, just like all the air, you just felt it. You could hear the sucking sound. They can't do that. They're going to have to come out playing that exact way and play the entire 60 minutes that way. Because Vegas, if you let up for a minute, it's in the back of the net. They just keep coming, man. It's really impressive that the way that roster plays together and the fact that they're able to do that despite, it hasn't mattered which coach. Let's see. What do you got? One matchup you like to see is Stanley Cup Final 96 Revenge Tour. We sweep the Avs instead. Yeah, that would be nice. Let me think about that for a second. Yeah, I guess we probably match up with them pretty well. They're a pretty balanced team. Grubauer is not impervious to having a bad game here or there. Yeah, we'd match up with you. I don't think we're going to sweep them. Okay, let's win a round. I don't think we're going to sweep them. But then again, Spencer Knight, right? We don't know what Spencer Knight's going to do. We know what we hope, and we know what we think, and we know what it feels like. If he turns out as good as people think he's going to be and as good as he's going to look, we easily could be dealing with, who does he remind you of? Let's talk about that for a second. What goalie does Spencer Knight remind you guys of? I'm curious there. I'm really curious there. Let's think about it. He's so cool and calm and collective and just kind of is there at the right space at the right time. So who do you guys the next Brodeur or Roy? Roy. Wow. I said Roy. What an idiot. It's Patrick Roy. I should know. But I've earned the right to mispronounce his name just by the fact that I was at one of those games that we lost. So, yeah, all right, let's see, bud. You like to see Price lift the cup? Well, you think he can pull it out with Montreal? Montreal's not built well enough yet. And how old is Price? 33? Somebody tell me how old he is. He's not that old. He's not that young, right? They got a short window with him. Yandel win a Conn Smythe. Yandel is going to win. If they had an award for most celebrated retirement, that's the one I want Yandel to win. All right? I want Yandel to win the award that is given out by the player. The players vote on which guy they think should have retired sooner. The It's About Time award. Let's give Yandel that. The It's About Freaking Time award. Right? So we have to name it after a player that stayed too long. What player stayed too long? In what sport? We have to figure that one out, You might almost say Tyson stuck around too long a little bit. Jordan definitely stuck around too long. So we'll give him the Michael Jordan Award for a professional athlete that stuck around a little bit too long. What do you got there, bud? According to your dad, Spencer Knight's like Billy Smith. You know what? I think if Stu and Boca comes on, he's a big guy from the Islanders back in the day. And he might – I think he's actually said that to me about Spencer Knight, reminding him of Billy Smith. But if Stu comes on, we definitely ask him on that because that's a name I wouldn't really know all that well. But then again, it was 40 years ago. Exactly. I was alive. I was alive, but hockey wasn't on my radar when I was 9. Let's see. When I was 9, I was 1980. So that was when the Dolphins were with Shula and David Woodley was our quarterback. And we had the strike shortened season in '81. And then we lost to the Redskins in the Super Bowl when John Riggins did the whole damn John Riggins thing. And what was it, 4th and 2, and he ran the damn touchdown, like 50, 60-yard touchdown. Broke us. And then a couple years later, Marino came in. Yeah, the aisle run was from 80 to 84. Yeah, there wasn't any hockey on my radar at that point. At that point, I was a Dolphin fan, and that was the only thing we had. So I was a Laker fan for basketball. I was an Edmonton Oiler fan for hockey, but I didn't really watch hockey. I just paid attention because there was no hockey on TV, not locally anyway. And then baseball-wise, I was a Dodger fan because I liked Tommy Lasorda and Fernando Valenzuela and Kirk Gibson, big Kirk Gibson fan. And then, of course, the Marlins, or the Heat and the Marlins and the Panthers came, and I dropped all those other teams. But they always still got a soft spot for the Dodgers. Not so much the Lakers. Basketball has changed so much over the years. It's just not the same. Much like football. Baseball is pretty much still the same sport. I mean, things have changed and everything, but it's still the same sport, right? But with football especially, it's not even the same sport. It's still football, but you watch highlights from the 80s, and the best plays, some of the best plays from the 80s, it's penalties now. It's 15 yards on sportsmanlike, or what do they call it? Targeting and roughing the passer and all that crap. It's not the same game. And basketball has changed a lot too. The guys are prima donnas. I mean, these players today, they could not put up with what Larry Bird and Dennis Rodman and all those guys did. They'd be flip-flopping all over the place. Bud, let's see, you started reading your 80s in Miami. Yeah, I appreciate that, buddy. I'm actually, I just started writing a book. I'm gonna write a book based on some of those stories. So, because I've got a book's worth, and the stories, I'm keeping the articles short because it's an article, so there's a lot of details and good stuff that's left out because it's for an online publication, so I can't really leave. There's some fun stuff that happened that I can't really put out there in that form. But I'm writing a book, and I'm hoping to have that out for the holidays. I don't know if I'm going to have it out for my birthday in August. That might be too soon, but definitely it'll be a flying fluffy Christmas present. You'll buy a book and a mug and give it to everybody and then I'll have money to buy Christmas presents for Fluffy. See how that works? It's water. It's not alcohol. What lineup is better? 95, 96 Panthers or the 2021 lineup with Ekblad in the lineup? Well, talent-wise, pure talent-wise, this roster is better. How all the pieces fit, 95, 96. You have to understand, you got to throw in goaltending there. There wasn't any question. Goaltending, right? Beezer was the goalie. Clemenson came in, did good when we needed to. He was a good, solid backup, did his job. But the way that team, the way that the lines fit together, there wasn't a lot of juggling back then. And, I like Doug McClain as a coach. I don't think he's better than, he's not better than Q. But in terms of pure talent, obviously, it's hard to compare eras because guys have, they got better training now. You can't really compare eras. But in terms of guts and heart and soul and all of that, the 95-96 team was just better equipped and more and more. I don't want to say more. Well, they were better put together. This group there's still some tweaks to be made with this group. We are still, undoing what the whole Dale Talon, Tom Rowe thing did, right? We've still got fallout from all of that, where that 95-96 team, everything was rolling around just fine until the year after when Stu Barnes and Jason Woolley for Chris Wells, and we haven't won a damn thing since. John Carlo, hey buddy, how you doing? Appreciate you coming out, man. All right, what's the best captain of all time? Oh, Mellenby. And I mean, that sounds like a pat answer, but when that's all the success that your team has had. Not Mellenby. Mellenby wasn't the captain. Excuse me. Scrudlin. Scrudlin was the captain. Excuse me. I always think Mellenby because he had the rat trick. But no, Scrudlin, screwy. Not, and that's not close. That's just my opinion there. You know, until we have a captain that brings us somewhere, you know, nobody has really impressed me all that much, to be honest with you. We've had some lean years, you know what I mean? And we're still trying to build this whole, you know, we're trying to build a culture right now. But like I said, we're still fixing some mistakes that we made. All right, what was the last in real life NHL game I've been to? Dude, you're not going to like the answer. I don't like the answer to that question. It was the season that we won the division, the old Southeast division, against the and we it was overtime game against, I think it was against Carolina, and we won the game in overtime. That was I think it was 12 or 13, depending on when I went. That was the last time. It was the last time I lived down there, and then between the dogs and my health, I just, you know, I've kept meaning to go to games, and now, you know, it's been tough the last 4 years because with the vertigo, I'm 90 minutes that way is Philly. 90 minutes that way is DC. Like 2.5 hours that way is Pittsburgh. But I can't get there myself. I can't drive the bridges. I can't drive highways. I can't get there myself. And it just hasn't worked out. Truth is, you know, I wanted to take Matthias to a game right around the time we were getting divorced. And long story short, there's just been a lot of things that have happened in my personal life that have just made it so that it just couldn't work out. And, you know, now that my health is such as that I could take an Uber or have somebody take me and go do it and everything. Now I'm broke. I don't have the money to go anymore. So, you know, every year I say, I hope that this is the year I can get to go to some games. And hopefully this year I can get to go to some games. Yeah, I haven't been able to go. It's just one thing after another. And, you know, so many things happened a few years in a row to stop me from going that the last 2 or 3 years, I stopped trying because it just got out of hand. It would just be like, I would have plans to go, and then Matthias would have these massive meltdowns. And so rather than me I would get so stressed because he would have the meltdown and it would stop me from going to the game that I stopped wanting to go to the game because I wasn't having the patience I should have with him because I was frustrated that I was going to now miss the game. You see what I'm saying? So I just kind of stopped trying that so I could just deal with what I had at home. I think Weiss should have been a captain. He would have made a decent captain, but again, he wasn't a real rah guy. But Frank, thanks for coming out. I appreciate you coming out, man. I want to say that first. Did I live in Broward when I was down here? I was born and raised in Meaty Ives, okay? And then I had an apartment on US 1 in Hallandale. I forget the name of it. It wasn't that far from Hallandale Beach Boulevard. This was a long time ago. There wasn't as much built up back there. So I had an apartment there. Then I also lived off of Sterling Road in an apartment. And I lived for a year or two. Kyle was actually born in a house that we rented on Adams Street off of Young Circle over there before the area. I don't know what the area is like now, but it was okay when I lived there. And then it got really bad and we left. I don't know what that area is like now, but yeah, I used to live over there at Young Circle. We would go to the Publix and the Blockbuster movies at Young Circle, and we would go to the Publix and we would get the foot-long Ultimate Subs at Publix, the French fans, and then that was back in the day when you would go to Blockbuster and we would spend like an hour just going through the VHS tapes to figure out what the hell to rent and go home. Oh, and I would eat, this is what I would eat, okay? I would eat the full 12-inch Publix Ultimate Sub, and then I would eat an entire pint of Ben & Jerry's fish food ice cream. And I would eat that, and I would be like, it was nothing. It was great. I can't eat like that anymore, that's for sure. But I appreciate that. Eventually it will. Making progress. Once I get these, I tell you what, once I get the bankruptcy done, if I can have that done by the time I'm 50 in August, there'll be a world of pressure that gets taken off of me. It's stressful. You don't realize, you think I can handle stuff, but stress does stuff to your body, man. It just messes with you. John Carlo, best Panther enforcer. That's got to be Laws, right? It's got to be Paul Laws. You know, he was certainly the longest tenured, and he was just a joy to watch. Now, you know, Jovanovski had a lot of hits and was a powerful force, but he didn't really fight like, you know, as much as Laws did. Laws was the guy that would just go out there, crack your head open, and skate off the ice. So yeah, Paul Laws definitely. Papa Grande, thanks for coming out. Both of my sons have autism. So Kyle is 22 and Matthias is going to be 17 next month, and they both have autism. Now Kyle is high functioning, right? But he wasn't when he was younger. It was pretty severe. And then Matthias was really, really, really bad up until maybe the last couple of years, maybe the last year and a half. He found a special school and he's improved a lot. He's able to, you know, you can kind of understand what he's saying most of the time now, and he doesn't have the meltdowns. But there were years where, you know, if any little thing went wrong, there have been times where he would like pick up bricks from the yard and throw them at the dogs. I mean, it was that bad. It was that level of bad. I mean, there's literally some of my old videos, you go back, I mean, there's literally like videos I did because I didn't want to not do the video that he had just had like an hour complete epic meltdown, and as soon as we got him calm, I would go film. I don't talk about it a lot because it sounds like I'm bitching and complaining, but it was a rough time. There's no doubt about that. Kudma, hey, Arizona sports guy, I appreciate you dropping by, buddy. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Kudma, I got a question for you, buddy. You said that I don't look so good in those colors in the dolphin video. Now here's the full disclosure. I'm colorblind. All right, I'm legit colorblind. So are you saying like you just don't like the color of the jersey, or are you saying like somehow like the color with the colors in the background and my hat are really, really distracting? Because I've had a few people actually tell me they like that Zach Thomas jersey. I have other jerseys. I'm going to wear other ones, but that's the one that was there. But yeah, that's a legit question in terms of, are you just saying it because, you know, you don't like that jersey color, or was there really something wrong? I can't tell. I'm colorblind. Gabriel, hey, bud, I appreciate you coming out, man. Thanks for popping in. Barkov, JB, it's water. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Let's see, bud. Maybe they have a game go to overtime. That way we can hear we're going to overtime. Yeah, the first one out the box. That's what I'm doing, and I'm going to do what you guys asked. If one goes to overtime, I'll come on and wrap up the third period and then have a separate segment for after the over. Let's see. John Carl. All right, hold on. I want to miss this. Barkov, you're saying 2-0 Habs. Come on, man. A shutout. Come on. All right, Barkov. What do you want to bet me? That's easy money. Let's bet on that one. All right. Worrell was the best, John Carlo. In terms of actual fighting skill, you might be accurate there. I don't think Laws would have wanted to fight Worrell. That's a good name to draw out from. That's not bad. I have to give that some thought. my heart is with Paul Laws, but Worrell, you're right. You're very accurate there. That's for sure. Habs getting Petrie back, possibly. You know how I feel about this. I don't think anybody's slowing down or stopping Vegas. If Montreal manages to do it, more power to them. But until I see somebody do it, I mean, we'd have to go back. I mean, Vegas has won 5 in a row now, right? Yeah, because the 4 have they scored less than 4 in a while? How many did they score the other night? Yeah, they got the 4. They're scoring goals, man. I don't know. All right, let's see. Kudma. You had a Sale jersey. It was just a shock to see me out. Yeah, now that I understand. Even for me, it's like when I'm watching it, I'm like, dude, it doesn't. It's so different, right? It's so different. But I'm gonna get out my Merino jersey. I've got the old version, the white Merino jersey, and it's similar white to this, right? So it won't look so different. I understand what you're saying. I love that color of that jersey. I have another jersey that's a really nice one. It's the aqua one. And even though you can't tell who's the back, I'm embarrassed to wear it. If somebody guess whose name's on the back, that I'm embarrassed to wear it. This I'm curious to see if anybody could figure it out. I don't think there's any way anybody's going to guess. It was a jersey that my brother bought, and after about a week and a half, he just gave me the jersey. It's that bad. So I want to see if anybody can figure it out. Papa Grande, yeah. It's and they're all different, right? All autistic kids are different. You know what I mean? So yeah, I appreciate that. It changes your life. Put it that way, man. JB, y'all, you don't want to bet. Jeremy Gula, Jeremy, thanks for showing up. 8-0 Knights. It almost could have been 8-0 Knights the other night, and if it wasn't for Carey Price, I tell you what. I'll tell you this. If that was Bobrovsky in net, no problem being 8-0. All right, Jerry. Yeah, Smith 4-goal game. Jesus, that Panther fans would lose their mind. It's one thing when Marchessault does that, but Smith has been quiet. He's still playing. He's playing his style, but he's been quiet. You know what I mean? Hey, JB. All right, let's see. John Carlos. Yeah. I don't disagree with you there, man. Laws was great, but he didn't. Yeah, Worrell was. You're right there, man. You're right there. No, not Waters, not Brady, not dude. If I had a Ricky Williams jersey, I would wear that. I'd love to have a Williams jersey. Culpepper. You're trying to say Culpepper, aren't you, Frank? Frank, if you're trying to say Culpepper, I got a story for you. Spencer Knight reminds you of Price, huh? Huh. All right, I'll bite on that. I'll be good with that. Absolutely. I absolutely would be fine with him turning out to be Price. I think he can turn out to be, I don't want to say better than Price, but I want to say better than Price. You know what I mean? Michael, Worrell is your coach. Dude, outstanding. That's outstanding. That you well coached then. That's good to go. All right, Tannehill. No, it wasn't Tannehill. I'm going to tell you in a second. All right, Frank, here's the story about Culpepper. So when we got him, my brother is highly into football cards, okay? And when Culpepper had the one good year, my brother spent thousands. He was in the military, and he had just gotten out. He had got a nice separation thing. And he spent thousands, and I mean thousands of dollars on Dante Culpepper cards as an investment because he was so sure that this guy was going to be basically the next Marino and everything that he was paying premium eBay prices for Dante Culpepper cards thinking he was investing his money. He has a 5,000 count box of Dante Culpepper cards that he may as well just use his toilet paper. He blew so much money. And I make fun of him every freaking time. Anytime that name comes up. Because Dolphin fans are like, oh, God, don't remind me about Culpepper and Breeze. But my brother has a special reason that he don't want to be reminded at all about Dante Culpepper. All right. I'm going to tell you. So the jersey I have that you got, like, he was on with us for like 30 freaking seconds, basically. Ray Finkel. The jersey I have that I'm embarrassed to wear simply for the name on the back is green. I can't wait to see the reaction to that. My brother bought it for himself, and after about a week and a half, he said, "Oh man, this what the hell?" And he gave it to me. It's basically worn once. It's like practically brand new. It's the green aqua. I'm colorblind, but it's not the blue aqua. It's like the greener one. Um, and yeah, it's Trent Green's on the back. You can't tell. I'll wear it. You guys will know who's on the back and give me shit. But other than that, nobody's going to know until you guys tell everybody in the comments. But that's okay. That's all right. It's a nice jersey. It's Trent Green. What was it? Was it 2 games? How many games did he play before he got he got the concussion and he was gone again, right? Wasn't that how it happened for him? Yeah, I don't want to ignore that. I saw somebody up there saying about, Bud, saying more rumors to Lane with Lane. Did you all see that guy on Twitter that is a Columbus fan that thinks that we're going to give up Barkov for Lane? Okay, he thinks we're going to give up Barkov. It's just like that dude was. I want what he's smoking. I want what he's smoking. All right, guys. So Ray Finkel jersey. I would love to do that. Yeah, Barkov's way better. It's not even close, right? I don't know what that dude was thinking. I retweeted his tweet and told him that somebody needed to go pick up their kid. Yeah. He's like, I forget what the guy's handle was. Let me go see. Hold on a second. Let me check this out. Hold on, let me check it out because I tweeted it out earlier. There goes my glasses. All right, let's see what this guy's thing was. I only tweeted a couple things today, so it shouldn't be too far down here. Yeah, here it is. His @ is @the CBJ haters. And, of course, he made a joke. Panther fans, yes, apparently they're real, are triggered, LOL. And his original tweet was, you want to try and take Lane without giving up Barkov? Ha, good one. So this dude really thinks he was serious, too. And he making fun of us for laughing at him. Vetrano, yeah, hey, sure. Vetrano, why not? But, I don't want to talk about – I'm not going to talk about the word I'm not allowed to talk about, okay? I haven't even said it. I haven't even mentioned it this stream. So I'm doing good, all right? And what do I think it would take to sign him? Are you talking about money-wise? Or are you talking about what we're going to have to give up to get him? I'll answer that in a second. Papa Grande, you're going to open this convo up. You see the management, get it rid of Yandel during the offseason. Okay. Frank, what do you think he would, I don't know how much we would pay him. I'm so petrified money-wise all the way around to even guess. What player do you think what player do you guys think money-wise? I'd like to hear you guys' opinion. Everybody's getting paid so much money. Yeah, no more Columbus players. You think we'd have to give up a first and a prospect? Yeah, in terms of the cost. But here's the thing. I don't think Columbus is gonna. They're not gonna trade him in the conference. Why would they do that? They could easily trade him. Think in the Western Conference, a team that would he could stay in maybe Dallas. I don't think any of the Canadian teams, but maybe Dallas. And who else has cap issues? Oh crap! I said it. A team that might want to clear out and do a trade some way. I have to give that some thought. For some reason, Dallas is like I'm thinking Dallas, and I don't even know why. That's just like what my gut is telling me. All right, so you asked about getting rid of Yandel this offseason. Other teams may actually take Yandel. I don't know, man. Yandel, who would want him? Who would really want him? I mean, his play, if the season before, he wasn't that bad. He was still serviceable. But he's just too slow at this point. Honestly, he should, and I don't mean this to be sarcastic. I mean this to be serious. He should save himself the embarrassment, take the W that he had, the streak that he had, and retire. Because I know we give him a lot of shit, and he earns it. But this year, physically, his physical ability this year really took a downturn. You know, forget the parts about how we make fun of him and you know, mishandling the puck and all of that. Just speed-wise and agility-wise, the actual physical aspects of his game really, really deteriorated this year. And I just for the fact that you want to like the guy because he is a nice guy, he's going to end up not keeping the streak alive. Nobody's going to play him every night. And he's such a liability. I just wish he would just hang up the skates, to be honest with you. And I say that more than just the fact that I don't want him on the team anymore, just as a professional. But I get, you know, you only have so many years of earning potential like that, so I get it. But physically, he's just not capable of being an every night NHL defenseman anymore. That's really how I feel about it. Lino, yeah, I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that. I talk about it. Yeah, I know what you're saying about lacking on D with Line. Look, I don't think Columbus send him in conference. It doesn't make any sense to me why they would do that, unless we're going to do something stupid and give up something bad. Vetrano, but to give up Vetrano and a pick. That's not. They're not gonna swap that trade out. And I hear what you're saying about defense, but if you're gonna put him up there with Barkov, look, I mean, it's not like Yager was a defensive gem and that line worked. You see what I'm saying? Yager spent most of the time just, you know, huffing and puffing to get back. It wasn't like he was playing a lot of defense. You know what I'm saying? So with if you're on Barkov's line, you know, Verhaeghe, you know, not a bad defensive player. He's not doing anything outstanding. So, I mean, it might create a little bit of a defensive liability there. I can hear that. But if the price is right, but I can't see why would Columbus trade him in conference? It would just make no sense, especially to a team that they know they got a good chance on if they're going to, you know, make the playoffs and play. All right, let's see what we got. Yeah, Pomegranate, you talk about Boston and Yandel. Yeah, well, yeah, but why would they want him? I mean, they're still thinking they have a window open to win a cup. Maybe it depends on what Rask is going to do. But I guess the point is why would any team that has cup and playoff aspirations put him on their team? He's not capable. He's beyond a liability. So I just think the time has passed with that. I don't think, you know, I don't think it could happen. Jeremy, you'd like to see us pick up Jones or Hamilton over Line? Yeah. Look, any of those guys, you know, again, all that's going to sort itself out with the expansion draft. What are we going to? We know what we need now, right? But we don't know what the bigger need is going to be. If they just take Drieger, everything is the way it is, boom, and we know what we need. If we lose a Forsling, oh shit, we need defense. And if we lose Vetrano or Achari, that's two different needs. So really, it's going to be on a need base, you know. And some of these guys we got coming up, who could take Vetrano's spot? Yanasenko, right? But, you know, how many goals did Vetrano have? Was it 17? So, you know, so much is going to be up in the air. Oh, I can't wait for the expansion draft. I'm going to live stream that. I'm going to live stream that like you guys asked. Jeremy, we could use a second elite defenseman. Matheson, forget. Oh, a year ago, that wouldn't even been funny, man. I don't. Yeah, Yandel's the funniest hockey player. I get you this. Hold on, I see stuff about him here, but I don't want to miss too much here at the top either. Keep Yandel for cosmetic reasons or get rid of him somehow for winning. Right. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Kutma. I hear what you're saying. But yeah, we all missed that line. I was so sad when Huberdeau got hurt and then Barkov, didn't make it work with Yager. It was just a sad ending to that whole thing. Yeah, absolutely. We could use everybody, Jeremy, could use a second elite defenseman, right? Uyghur's not that far. All right, I don't want to say he's that far up. He's very good. You guys tell me, you think Uyghur can get close to Ekblad? Let me think about that. No, I don't think so. But here's the thing with Uyghur. I mean, I was looking back. This is a 7th-round pick, right? I mean, for a 7th-round pick for a guy that's at least an excellent top 4, if not, fitting on your top pair there with no problem. That was one move that Dale Talon made that he doesn't get credit for, and I can't believe I'm giving Dale Talon credit. All right, I saw somebody, Eli, found his channel 2 days ago. Deserve any more subs. But I appreciate that, man. Genuinely appreciate that. We got to 1,000 during these playoffs. There have been a couple of times over the 5 years that I've stopped making videos when I shouldn't have stopped making videos. So I've kind of been my own worst enemy that way. But I appreciate that. And now I'm doing hockey, not just Panthers. I'm doing NHL stuff, and I'm doing Dolphins and NFL stuff. So I'm making a real go for it. So it's nice to see somebody new coming up and finding the channel. Genuinely appreciate that. I'm curious, Eli, are you a fan of another team? I always like to keep an eye on that. I like to see fans from other teams coming on. Kuma, I saw that. Where are you, Jeremy? Who's our elite defenseman? Now, come on. Come on, man. Give Ekblad some love. All right? All right, Frank, let's see what we got. Yeah, no strong contracts are ridiculously expensive for any team to take. We can trade and retain half. Gives us. Yeah. My hope. There's no doubt if we get rid of Yandel, we're going to have to eat some salary, right? So what we do is we send Bob, Yandel, and Strawman somewhere, and we take half the cap, and we give them how many? Okay, I'm joking, but I'm serious. Let's just play. How many first-round picks would you give to another team to take Bob, Yandel, and Strawman, and we only eat half the salary? What would you guys be willing to pay if unicorns and rainbows landed on us and somebody was gonna do that? I'm just for shits and giggles, I want to know what you guys would be willing to pay to make that happen. All right, let's see. Seattle will be worse than Vegas. Yeah, that's a good point. That's it. That is it in a nutshell. Seattle is going to be worse than Vegas for a multitude of reasons, but that being definitely one. Nobody is going to be stupid like we were and give up 2 top-line players. I mean, it just on purpose. We actually paid them, Marchessault, to take Smith. There's no words. There's still no words. All right, Jeremy, you'd almost consider Uyghur elite. Don't go to Twitter with that opinion. Twitter will eat you alive for that. Well, I don't have a significant disagreement there. I think he can get there. I think he's on the cusp, but he didn't show it in these playoffs. Now, that was a hell of a learning experience for him. Let's see what he brings next year. But he could definitely get there close. Hornquist was the final pick of the draft. Really? Oh, jeez. All right. Wow. He was the last man, huh? He made himself a nice career for being that far down. Eli, Oilers and Islanders. All right, bud. Thanks for letting me know. All right, so yeah. So you're one of the guys that picked it up watching the Islanders. I appreciate that. Yeah. I obviously being the Panther guy, most of the, it's about 70% Panther fans. A good portion of Tampa Bay fans, Carolina fans for some reason. And I think there's another few Islander guys. They pop in every once in a while. A guy from Boston pops in from time to time. So I appreciate that. I know that that's going to happen more and more that I'm doing NHL content. Not everybody gets me right off the bat. You know what I mean? Some guys, like there was an Islander guy in the game one video that kind of took my intro a little bit too seriously, where I was cracking the joke about if the Panthers had gotten the old crusty Penguins and the old crusty Bruins. He took a little bit too seriously. You can't take me that seriously. I come off a certain way, but almost everything I'm saying is either I'm being serious just to get a rise out of people. You'll know when I'm really, really, really being serious, because I'll give a look. It looks like this. It's like, okay, when you see that look, then you know, oh, you actually mean what he's saying. But for the most part, man, a lot of it's just emotional overreactions. You know what I mean? It's just second period, we give up 2 goals, I lose my shit. And then I go back and watch the highlights, and I realize that the puck was deflected. It really wasn't a bad goal. Somebody I thought that was being lazy really wasn't, But it's in the middle of the game, and I lose it. People like it, but not everybody gets it when they first see me. Some people they see me and they think, "What the hell is wrong with this guy?" I can't blame them. All right. Let's see here. Boy, we're running short on time here again. Got about 10 minutes. Kumai is elite because of his scoring. Defense elite. Uyghur's close. I don't know about elite yet. I remember before the playoffs when there were a couple people whispering maybe he should get some Norris votes. Not yet. He's going to have to prove himself in the playoffs a little bit more. Send Yandel and Strawman on a plane to go to Dale Talon's house. Yeah, they could all play golf together. Come on. He took the wife to the Canes game this year. Bob choked, but the fans were awesome. You're talking about which one? He's at home or in Carolina? Jeremy, do I think we could beat Boston in a series? Who's in net? Who's in goal? For us and for them. Not with Bobrovsky. With Spencer Knight in goal and a healthy Ekblad, the teams that I feel like we don't really still have a chance at beating, Vegas, and then Vegas is the only team that I really feel like no chance. Then you drop down and I start looking at Tampa Bay and the Islanders and going, it's a big fat maybe, especially the Islanders. We don't do well against those tough, clamped down defensive teams. Historically, we're one of the ones that can get clamped down on pretty good. Even with Knight playing out of his mind, I don't know right now because of our defensive personnel. I think we have the skill, but I don't think we have the defensive personnel to match with them. Same with Vegas. We don't have the defensive personnel to slow them down enough. In terms of Boston, if we play Knight a full 7, a full series, and Ekblad's in, yeah, I mean, I think it's 50-50. I don't see any reason why we couldn't beat them. But at the same point, if they beat us in 7, it wouldn't shock me either. All right, so you got Knight versus Rask. Oh, well, if Rask from these playoffs are in, yeah, we're winning. We're winning that series. I don't know if he's going to have that surgery or not. I don't know what they're going to do with him. They got that kid. I forget the kid's name, but he's good and he's ready. And I'd rather play at this point. I'd rather play Rask because you saw he wasn't 100%, and whatever he's got going on, if he needs a surgery, who knows what he's going to be. Goaltenders. You saw with Luongo after he hurt that hip, he came back, but he wasn't the same. He wasn't the same. He wasn't moving the same. He'd have games, he'd have flashes, but he couldn't do it every night. So Boston is a team that I think we could, if everything went right, if we did everything right, we played the right way, and maybe one more defense. We're not going to beat Boston with the defense we had out there on the ice this year. Even with Ekblad, the bottom two. If we're still looking at either Yandel or Strawman, we ain't beating. I don't think anybody in the playoff series. Maybe Boston, Pittsburgh. Okay, I don't want to say anybody. But it's all about the goaltending there. You know what I mean? Swayman is Boston's backup. Yeah, but he did well, right? I'm correct there that because there's a bunch of kids that are the backups now that are doing well. Yeah, JB, if we have home ice, yeah. Kutma in Carolina. Okay, gotcha. Oh, Kutma, Knowles, Canes, or Gators. All right. The answer to that question, the only appropriate answer to that question is Canes. Why? That shouldn't be. It's not debatable, right? It's not debatable. I mean, I grew up in Miami. I grew up going to the Orange Bowl, right? Yeah, Canes. I'm a Canes fan. I haven't watched a lot of college football the last few years. But yeah, I pay attention enough. I'm a Canes fan. Let's see. If we play next season like we did this season, I ain't scared of nobody. Well, remember, the division is going to be a little bit different. We got to get Ekblad back, and we have to see what Ekblad, he ain't going to come back. Remember with Huberdeau, he played what? How many games did he play? Like 20 games towards the end of that season, right? When he came back. Obviously, Ekblad's injury is different, but the good thing is he's going to have all summer to get back into shape. So he may come back, 100%. And it wasn't, a muscle or a tendon like it was with Huberdeau. It's the bone. Now, the one thing with that bone is that it's the weight, pressure-bearing bone. When you're a defenseman and you're stopping and starting and stopping and starting, it's a lot of pressure on that bone. So his rehab is going to have to focus on that. And don't be surprised. My guess, my opinion, is don't be surprised if he does so much leg work to get back that he comes back maybe 5, even 10 pounds of added muscle. Don't be surprised if he comes back a little bit bigger. That's just my guess, but he may have to, after this injury, he may have to depend a little bit more on his physicality because he already wasn't that fast, All right, let me take a drink here, and we'll get ready to wrap this up in a few minutes. Jeremy, you're scared we somehow missed the playoffs. If we insist on playing Bobrovsky all year long, we might, but I don't think Q will do that. I think we're looking at worst 50-50 with Knight and Bobrovsky, and Q showed he's going to go with who's playing best. So, but it's a tough division, and again, we could get 96 points and not get in. But I feel like Ekblad comes back. If we only lose Drieger in the expansion draft, and we could broom somebody on defense and shore up the bottom 4, bottom 2 at least, I feel confident that as long as we have an appropriate winger, and especially if don't forget Lundell. All right, fear the spear. Yeah. Wide right. Cut him out. All right, I see a question here from Eli. Do I think the Tampa Isles become a rivalry? Because personally, I hate Tampa as much as I hate the Leafs and Rangers. Obviously, because there was last year and now there's this year. So yeah, I think you can see the way that they hate each other. I mean, the Panthers and Lightning, they went at it, but the way the Isles and Lightning are going at it, they mean it. You know what I mean? It's like the Panthers and Lightning, you could kind of tell that they beat the crap out of each other, but then postseason they call each other, be like, you want to hang out or go play some golf or something, you know? But the Islanders they're out for blood. Both these teams, when they're fighting, I mean, you look around sometimes and there's 3, 4 freaking fights, or would be fights if the referees weren't stopping them. So yeah, I absolutely think that that's not just a rivalry. I can't say the word. I agree. Yes, it is, and I think it's going to be here for a while because Trotz ain't going anywhere. Both teams have, you know, relatively young cores, and you know, you guys will both be vying for the position of getting to play the Panthers in the postseason, so you can win a round before you have to get back to each other. We'll be your patsies, and I know you Panther fans. I know you ain't gonna like that, but until we prove otherwise, that's what we are. We're the speed bump that the good teams have to go through to get to the cup. All right, let's see. Cam, welcome, buddy. I appreciate you coming out. We got a couple minutes here, guys. Let's see. I feel like the longer the Habs go on a run, the more likely Hughie would want to leave. This is a good question. And play for his hometown team, so in case go Knights. All right, that's a really good point. I'm going to steal that. The next time somebody asks me why I'm voting for Vegas, I'm going to steal that, dude, because that's a really good point. If he thinks he's got a better chance to win over in Montreal, and they're going to pay him, what's the tax situation? That somebody needs to research that, and let's get on that. What's the tax situation? Because we know Florida, there's no taxes. We all compare it to like New York and everything else like that. So like if we're going to offer Hugo 8, 9, whatever it is, and he gets an offer from like 10 for Montreal, what's the tax situation? It's over 50%? Holy shit. Well, okay. So like if we offered him 10, Montreal would have to basically offer him like 15 to be, no, he would have to, let's see, half of 15 is 7. That wouldn't even be, they'd have to offer him like 20. Like 20. How the hell do they get players to play there? What the hell? Holy crap. They take half? Jeez. Well, that's federal though, right? That's for what I'm talking about is do the Canadiens, do each province, you guys each, like Toronto have a tax and Ontario have a tax, Quebec, do you guys each have an own individual tax, or is it Canada? Because for us here in the States, we have federal tax that we pay, and then we have a state tax. But in Florida, there's no state tax. So like if you get 10 million in Florida, you're getting 10 million. If you go to New York, they're going to take 20, 30% as a state tax. So I'm interested to, yeah, well, Cam, we're going to have to get ready to close up the stream here in a minute. But I'll research that. You research that too. Let's get together on that because that is a really, really interesting point. You bring up number one. I might even want to do a video about this one. That's a really good point because he may want to leave, and then everybody always talks about the tax implications of the states. But that's interesting. I want to check that out. So, all right, we're getting ready. I see Eli, Quebec is like the California of Canada. Andrew, appreciate you coming out. Let's see. Players in Canada do not get paid American dollars, which right now happens to be higher. So that plays a factor also. I appreciate that, Andrew. I appreciate you coming out. And I'm going to do a video on this. It's not going to be right away. But, yeah, that's a really, really, really good point you guys bring up. Absolutely good one. All right. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. Go Knights, go. All right, let's do it.